Well, George, welcome to the program. Now, I have to admit, with all the English names coming in and out of the charts, when I first got the record, I thought it was Young Guns doing Wham. However, it was the other way around. So can you tell us how Wham got together and how you and Andrew got together?
Yeah, well, we met at school when I was 11, Andrew was 12, and we stayed, you know, close friends until we left school about a year and a half ago, 2 years. We kept writing songs, and then when they were good enough, we got a record contract last year.
Were you writing songs when you were at school?
We were, yeah, because we started a school band when we were both about 16,
right,
which fizzled out after a year, because people didn't turn up for practices or concerts or whatever.
So where was the school?
The school was North London,
right,
a place called Bushy. And we just kept writing songs from there, yeah.
So how did you get a record contract then? I mean, how did you sort of make London notice Wham?
We didn't really. You see, we were just like... the actual demo tape that got us the contract was about 4 minutes long, and it was just... we did it for £20 in Andrew's front room to try and get someone to give us... You know, because we had no money being on the dole. We wanted someone to give us the money to make a proper demo.
Right.
And we got a contract off it, which we were really amazed with Innovision CBS. So here we are, a year later.
So how many songs had you written before that time? I mean, did you have a band that you performed? And
yeah, there was one band that we performed with, as we said, but no Wham. I mean, Wham came about after the contract.
So where did the name come from then?
Well, I think it was Andrew, actually. Originally we were in a club dancing, and we were kind of doing this like formation dancing and having a laugh. And Andy started shouting something about Wham, Bam and all this, you know. And we thought that'd be a good name for a group. And then we threw it out the window. We thought, no, got to think of something better than that. But eventually we came back to it because it seemed right for what we were doing, you know.
Right.
And
so you're also doing dancing, sort of like going out to clubs, watching dancing?
Oh yeah, that's our background really. We've both been like, well, what we called soul boys, I suppose, for about the last 5 years. So dancing and clubs are the places that, you know, we get our ideas from.
Right.
So I think that shows in the records. Hopefully it shows.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, Young Guns, is that a true story, like the lyrics that go through that about?
It's not true. It's not true of either Andrew or myself, but it's true of a lot of our friends. You know, people that we see up the pub. You know, and you'll say, "Where's Alan tonight?" or "Where's Bob tonight?" and they say, "Oh, he's in with the bird," you know. And it's definitely true of a lot of people, but it's a very kind of tongue-in-cheek look at the way, you know, young boys look at being tied down. And I think you're not supposed to be particularly impressed with the male point of view from the song, but at the same time, it's very typical.
Right. So as far as Wham is concerned now, what can we sort of expect, you know, over the next whatever? You know?
Well, hopefully.
I mean, someone described you the other day in Australia as being an English version of John Travolta.
Oh, I don't know about that. No, I haven't got any white suits in my cupboard or anything like that. No, I think probably the dance aspect is going to be there for quite a while, and the songs will probably remain up-tempo, but I can't really tell. I mean, 6 months ago I had a very different view to what Wham would be than the way I feel about it today, so I don't really predict for the future. I just hope that the inspiration comes to keep writing hit singles and hopefully hit albums.
Now, the film that we saw of Young Guns, you say, is not totally of what the dance aspect of Wham is, or the presentation of what you've got. And I can sort of say that a friend of mine, who's an Australian filmmaker who does a lot of films over here, Russell Mulcahy, said that you'd done a much better version on English television. So, what is your view on that?
Well, there are two sides to that story. One is that initially Wham is really just Andrew and myself, but for the purpose, especially of Young Guns, we thought we would incorporate two girls, one of whom used to be Andrew's girlfriend but is no longer, and another is a professional dancer and singer, to show the song, you know, to show the meaning of the song, get people to listen to the lyric. and we do a full dance routine which actually tells the story within the two couples that sing on the record. We did it on the English Top of the Pops, and like, people really loved it. I mean, the video, although it's a good video, it doesn't really show off the dance routine, which...
When you talk about the dance routine, is it something you and Andrew have just learned through the clubs? I mean,
well, we've all...
going to a choreographer or something like that?
No, we didn't go to a choreographer. The four of us made up the dance routine ourselves from club dances that we'd done before. We tended to go out and we'd muck about and make up dances, and people used to watch us then, and they looked like we used to clear floors, as it were. So we thought, well, if people are interested when we're in clubs, then hopefully they'll be interested on the telly, and it worked. So.
Well, I sort of perhaps sort of pull back and refer back to a song that Bowie wrote years ago about all the young birds, and I think that's almost indicative of what English music is now.
Yeah.
What is your view on that?
Well, I like Bowie, but I don't really remember all the young dudes that much. But
well, it's about a song about fashion and them going out and sort of having a good time in a club.
Yeah, I think England, to be honest with you, since Saturday Night Fever, although it's a poor starting place, but Saturday Night Fever turned a whole generation of 14, 15-year-olds and above onto the idea of, what have we been doing for the last 5 or 6 years? Where have we been going? And there wasn't really much to do. You either stayed at home or you went to a concert. And suddenly the club idea came out again, and the whole, the new romantic thing, the punk thing, everything started to get motivated around then. And now I think we're getting like an amalgamation of all the different influences out, and we now sing very kind of we sing a social lyric to a disco backing, and I think that is where we've done our best, because we've kind of combined two different audiences of young kids.
Well, looking at music, I mean, you came out of, say, the 76, 77 period of where, punk rock, which was making a very social statement, and very heavy in itself in music, to becoming to a new romantic, and now into a more dance, unashamed sort of presentation. Is that a fair assessment of English music?
I think that's very fair, yeah, and there's definitely a large escapist element creeping back into English music now. People aren't afraid to say that they go out and have a good time and don't particularly worry about, social, what other people think of them, or what the rest of the world is doing. I think people are starting to feel that, maybe because there's been some recession and people have less actual freedom to do what they want. I think that people are taking more to dancing and just going out having a good time on the weekends or whenever.
Okay, now we've got Wham Rap out at the moment, and what's after Wham Rap?
After Wham Rap, I'm not actually sure, because the schedules between Australia and England are very different, but I would imagine you'll have the third single, which is Bad Boys, and then the album, which is as yet untitled because we're just finishing it now. So Bad Boys.
Bad Boys about?
Bad Boys is fairly much along the same lines. I mean, we had a go at the two major institutions, marriage and work, and now we're just having a go at the frictions between boys of our age and a bit younger with our parents. It's all things from experience and observation, and it's another very tongue-in-cheek look at teenagers, I suppose.
Right.
Of which I'm still luckily a part.
So, have you been a bad boy? Have you been
a bad boy? Well,
had that problems with girls where someone else can look at you and say, "Where's George tonight?" And they say, "Oh, I don't know, he's out with his girlfriend."
I've not actually got that serious with anybody. No. I've been lucky enough to escape that. But, I suppose I've been a bad boy to an extent. I think that all the lyrics to Bad Boys are fairly much about my experiences with my parents.
And what about America? I mean,
Sorry,
America,
Mum.
who's so much into dance-orientated music, and sees, say, a film clip like Young Guns, which is a sort of an English version of an alternative. Do you think a lot of Americans should come across here and have a look at the English scene?
I think it'd be a nice idea. It'd be a nice idea. I think people are. I think it's very healthy over here at the moment, dance-wise and club-wise. I don't think they necessarily have to come over here. I think as long as a lot of the music is crossing over, I think a lot of the attitudes.
Fashion plays a big part now in music here. It has for the last 3 years. Well, probably has for a long time. And even with the punk thing, I mean, like safety pins to ripped clothes to hairstyles or whatever.
Ripped clothes are very much back in vogue here, actually.
Right.
And I'm not in my ripped clothes today, but I do have some. My nightwear. But yes, fashion's very important. But it's good because people are tending to listen to various types of music, but still they're sticking to their own fashion rather than actually being a mod with a mod outfit or a punk with a punk outfit. It's getting a bit broader, which is a lot better.
Well, mixing with, perhaps, I mean, like what I'd say, the youth of England, do you think there's a lot more hope now than there was, and a lot more optimism now than there was, say, about 3 years or 4 years ago in England?
I think 3 or 4 years ago with the punk thing, people were shouting because they were angry. I think now, I think a lot of people are just letting people know that they're not ashamed of being young, unemployed, or young and or unemployed voluntarily. You know, I mean, I think people are just accepting that they are the result of whatever society has made them, and they're just enjoying their youth because that's what they've got left.
Right.
So I think it's fairly healthy, and the music is very healthy as well.
Well, listen, thanks for the interview.
Thanks very much.
Luck, and I think we should go into Wham Rap.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks,
Bye.
George.